Most people trying to lose belly fat are failing for a reason they've never been told. Not because they're lazy, not because their metabolism is broken, but because belly fat isn't one problem. It's three completely different problems sitting on top of each other, and each one needs a different approach. The moment Alex understood this, everything clicked. In 10 months, he went from looking like most guys his age to having visible abs and leaner arms than he's had in his entire adult life. His belly fat went from 36% down to 12.8%. But here's what makes his story useful to you. It wasn't luck, and it wasn't extreme. It was the right strategy applied to the right layer at the right time. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which layer you're in and exactly what to do about it. Let's get into it.
Before we talk about what to do, you need to understand why belly fat behaves the way it does. Because once you get this, a lot of things that used to feel confusing will start to make sense. Here's the simple version. Your body stores fat differently in different places, and it also burns fat differently from different places. Fat cells are not all the same. Some are easy to burn, some are stubborn. Think of it like this. Every fat cell in your body has a switch. Some switches are set to release, meaning when your body needs energy, it pulls from those cells easily. Most of the fat on your arms, your face, your chest, those cells respond quickly. They let go fast. But the fat sitting around your belly, especially the deep fat wrapped around your organs, those cells have their switches set to hold. Your body protects that fat. It is the last thing it wants to give up. And this isn't a flaw in your biology. It's actually a survival feature. Your body keeps those reserves for emergencies. The problem is that in modern life, the emergency never comes, so the fat just stays there. Now, here's where it gets personal. Research from thousands of body scans shows a clear pattern. For most men, once your overall body fat climbs above 25%, your belly becomes the #1 place your body sends extra fat. And the higher your body fat goes, the harder it becomes to pull that fat back out of your belly specifically.
For women, it's a bit different. Women tend to store more fat in the hips, thighs, and arms first. The belly is usually not the first place it shows, but it's still one of the last places to go when losing fat. So whether you're a man or a woman, the belly always seems to fight back harder than everywhere else. And why does this matter beyond just looks? Because belly fat, specifically the fat inside your belly around your organs, raises your risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and a range of other serious conditions, even if you're not very heavy overall. That's why this isn't just an aesthetic conversation. This actually matters for how long and how well you live. Now, 3 layers. Let's walk through each one.
The first layer is the soft, squishy fat that sits right under your skin. It's the layer that makes your belly feel soft when you push on it. It's what's covering your abs and stopping you from seeing any shape or definition underneath. And layer 1 is actually the easiest layer to lose, but it almost never feels that way. Here's why. When you start losing fat, your body doesn't strip it off evenly. It follows a pattern. For most people, especially men, the belly is the last place fat visibly comes off. So in the first several weeks of doing everything right, you'll notice your face looks a little sharper. Your arms look a little leaner. Your chest starts to flatten out. But your belly? It barely seems to move. And this is where most people quit. They think the plan isn't working. They think their belly fat is different, or they're just not cut out for this. But they're wrong. The belly fat is coming off. It's just not coming off first. For Alex, this hit him hard around week 5. He texted me convinced he was wasting his time. But when I measured his waist, he was already down centimeters. Fat was coming off, just not where he was looking. So what do you do during layer 1? 4 habits and 1 bonus.
Habit 1. Lift weights 3 times a week. This isn't about burning fat in the gym. The real reason is simpler. When you lose weight, you want that weight to be fat, not muscle.
Without strength training, a big chunk of the weight you lose will actually be muscle. And losing muscle makes you look and feel worse, not better. 3 sessions a week is enough to protect what you have. Habit 2. Eat protein at every single meal. You don't need to count grams right now. Just make sure every meal has a portion of protein roughly the size of your palm. Eggs, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, beans, whatever works for you. Protein keeps you fuller for longer. It's the hardest thing for your body to turn into fat, and it helps your muscles stay put while you're losing weight. Habit 3. Walk 8,000 steps a day. Not a run, not the gym, just walking. This one habit quietly burns hundreds of extra calories a day without making you hungrier, without wearing you out, and without taking over your schedule. Most people who struggle to lose fat are barely moving for most of the day. This fixes that. Habit 4. Weigh yourself once a week, not every day. Your daily weight bounces all over the place. Water, food in your stomach, hormones. It means nothing on its own. What matters is the trend over weeks. Weighing daily just messes with your head. And the bonus habit. Take a progress photo once a week. Not to post it anywhere, just for yourself. Because when your belly seems stuck, photos of your arms, your face, your chest will show you the truth. The progress is happening. You just need to see the right angle. For Alex, layer 1 took about 11 weeks. By the end, he was leaner than around 80% of men his age. But the harder work was about to start.
Layer 2 is where most people give up. Not because they stop trying, but because their body starts fighting back in a way they never expected. Here's what's happening under the surface. By the time you've burned through layer 1, your body has realized something is going on. You've been eating less than it wants, and it does not like this. So it quietly starts making adjustments. Your metabolism slows down slightly, and your body starts reducing the small movements you make all day without you even noticing. You sit a little more, you fidget a little less, you pace around a little less when you're on a call. All of these tiny reductions add up to hundreds of fewer calories burned every day. And then your hunger starts climbing. Not dramatically at first, but steadily. This is the plateau that almost everyone hits. And the most common response, cutting calories even harder or doing an hour of cardio every day, actually makes it worse. It stresses your body out more, causes you to lose muscle, and makes the weight come rushing back the moment you stop. Here's what actually works instead. Step 1, start counting calories. In layer 1, eating roughly right was enough. In layer 2, roughly right isn't enough anymore. You need to know your actual numbers. The easiest formula, take your body weight in pounds and multiply it by 10 to 12. That's the calorie range you want to be in for steady fat loss at this stage. It's not perfect, but it's close enough to work. Step 2, push your steps up to 10,000 a day. Not because 10,000 is some magical number, but because your body is already trying to reduce your daily movement. Bumping your step goal fights back against that without ramping up your hunger the way extra gym cardio would. Step 3, train 4 days a week instead of 3.
The extra session focuses on the muscle groups that are hardest to grow. Shoulders, arms, whatever you personally feel lags behind. And here's the deeper reason this matters. Muscle burns calories even when you're sitting still. The more muscle you have, the easier fat loss becomes over time. For women going through layer 2, the belly often responds better than it did in layer 1 because the hips and thighs carry more of the stubborn fat load. But the hunger increase, the slowed progress, the plateau, all of that is just as real. Alex pushed through layer 2 in about 12 weeks. By the end, he had clear upper ab definition. The shape of his waist had changed for the first time in years. But there was still one layer left, the hardest one. Okay, layer 3, the stubborn layer. Less than 1% of people who start a fat loss journey ever reach layer 3. Not because it's impossible, but because most people never know it exists, and they've already given up long before they get here. Layer 3 is the deep, stubborn fat clinging to your lower abs, your love handles, and the area just around your belly button. This is the fat that barely moved in layers 1 and 2, and now it's basically all that's left. The reason it's so stubborn comes back to what we talked about at the start. This fat is the most protected fat on your body. Your body will do almost anything to keep it. And the signs are hard to miss. Your hunger is constant, you're tired more than usual. Some mornings you wake up and your belly will actually look worse than it did the night before. Softer, more bloated. Not because you gained fat overnight, but because your stress hormone, cortisol, is elevated from the prolonged diet. And cortisol makes your body hold on to water, especially around the belly. This is the moment most people panic and either crash diet or walk away. The right move, and this will feel backwards, is to stop fighting so hard. Strategy 1, make your food work harder for you. You're eating fewer calories now, so every single calorie needs to fill you up as much as possible. This is when food choice really matters. Potatoes? Yes, regular white or yellow potatoes are actually one of the most filling foods per calorie in scientific studies. High-fiber vegetables, lean protein at every meal. Foods that take up space and keep you satisfied, not processed snacks that disappear in 3 minutes and leave you hungry an hour later. Strategy 2, take a planned diet break. This is the strategy that surprises everyone. When Alex's body started holding water and his progress went completely flat, I didn't tell him to eat less. I told him to eat more. About 400 to 500 extra calories a day for 5 days, mostly from carbs. Rice, bread, fruit, and even some of his favorite snacks. What happens during a diet break is real. Your stress hormone drops, a hormone called leptin, which controls hunger and how fast your metabolism runs, starts to recover. You sleep better. And when you go back to your deficit after the break, your body responds again, instead of just resisting. 5 days later, Alex's abs were actually sharper than before the break. His energy was back. He was ready to push forward. He went through 2 more of these breaks before finishing layer 3. It took another 8 weeks, but he got there. Now, I want to be straight with you about something. Layer 3 is not the right goal for everyone. If you don't have much muscle built up yet, getting this lean can actually leave you looking and feeling smaller than you hoped, because there's not much underneath the fat to reveal. And if pushing this hard is genuinely unsustainable for your life right now, the crash afterwards will undo everything. For a lot of people, the smarter move is to finish layer 2, hold that weight for a few months, build more muscle, and then come back for layer 3 later from a stronger starting point. There's no shame in that. It's actually the smarter long game. At the end of his journey, Alex's total body fat had dropped from 34% to 13.1%. His belly fat specifically from 36% down to 12.8%. 10 months. No crash dieting, no 2-hour gym sessions, no cutting out entire food groups. And the number that surprised him the most, he gained nearly 6 pounds of muscle while losing all that fat. That's what makes the transformation look the way it does. It's not just smaller, it's actually built different. So here's the whole picture. Layer 1 is about building the right habits. Protein at every meal, 3 workouts a week, 8,000 steps, weekly weigh-ins, and progress photos to keep you honest when the belly seems stuck. This layer is the most mentally frustrating, but it's the most physically forgiving. Push through it. Layer 2 is where your body starts fighting back. You need to count your calories, increase your movement, train a little harder, and accept that the resistance is normal, not a sign you failed. Layer 3 is the stubborn final stretch. Your food choices need to be intentional, and diet breaks aren't optional. They're part of how you actually break through instead of burning out. The belly fat you're carrying right now didn't show up in a week. It won't leave in a week either. But if you treat it as 3 separate problems and use the right strategy for each one, it will leave. The only question left is this: which layer are you actually in right now? Start there.